What's going on, everybody? My name is Monotui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and today I'm bringing you guys our GBA Week 11 match versus Tom Z, coach of the San Jose Sharpedos. If you have not already, please check out his channel in the description below. He is a really cool guy. But this is an extremely important match for us. Like I said, this has some playoff implications. If things go right for us, we could clinch our playoff spot with this win. We need Lars to lose, we need John to lose, and we need Dan to lose, and if we win, then we are in the playoffs guaranteed. But regardless, let us just focus on this game right here. Looking at Tom's team, he has his Starmie, Melodic, Salk, Tyrantrum, Gligar, and Xatu, so a very different team from what we saw last time. He of course did not have the Melodic, did not have Salk, did not have Tyrantrum, didn't have Gligar, and he did not bring Xatu the last time we played him. So the only same member that he has brought is the Starmie, which makes sense. Like I said in my team builder, it's the biggest threat to my team. Water, Psychic, Ice coverage is just really good for my team in general, especially also if he has like Thunderbolt or something like that. He could trigger Rapid Spin for another coverage move, so it's very threatening to my team. Also, I have an entire team builder dedicated to my team. However, for a quick rundown, we have our Pixie Plate Adamant Azumarill, we have our Mega Manectric, we have our Sub-Salac Garchomp, we have our Physical Defensive Amoonguss, our Scarfed Porygon Z, and our Colberberry Bronzong. So, let's just get into the match. Actually, before I do that, once again, big shout out to Beth, aka Sandwiches, who made this absolutely incredible looking layout. So thank you very much to her. Her Twitter will be in the description below as well. But with that being said, let us now get into the game. And so, looking at his team, I decided that my best lead would be Azumarill, no matter what he led with, unless it was like something like a Melodic lead, which I didn't expect him to do. I could beat it. He actually decides to lead with Xatu, likely predicting my Bronzong, trying to stop me from getting rocks up. But because I am Pixie Plate, I just go for the Play Rough here. I'll be able to do massive damage to this thing, possibly knock it out with Play Rough plus Aqua Jet, and if he switches in his Melodic, which he does decide to do here, I will be able to get off about 50% onto this thing. As you can see, I do a little bit more, and his Melodic actually has a Flame Orb, which is actually pretty interesting to activate Marvel Scale so that he can switch into things like my Garchomp and my Azumarill better. And you'll see how that plays out in a little bit, but here he is going to go for the Recover, get himself back to a decent amount of HP, near full, and then takes the 12% from the burn, so he's at about like 85%, 86, 87, around there somewhere. Math is hard. Anyway, here I go right for the Sludge Bomb, either predicting him to go out into the Xatu or scouting for the Mirror Coat, because either way, Sludge Bomb, if he Mirror Coats, will not do a lot of damage, and if he goes into his Xatu, as he did, I might snag a Poison. I'll get more damage than I would have if I went for Giga Drain, but here I go out into my Bronzong, which is probably a pretty predictable play, as he predicts that very well. Goes for the Heat Wave, but here, obviously I can't set up rocks with this thing because of Magic Bounce. I'm going to switch out into my Garchomp. I didn't think he would go for HP Ice Tiff here. If he had it, I think he'd either go for Roost or another Heat Wave, as he does go for the Heat Wave. Unfortunately misses, but that wouldn't have done a lot of damage to me anyway. Garchomp's very bulky and it does resist. But here, I see this as a very good opportunity to set up a sub. I'm pretty sure he's going to switch, not wanting to fear me going for something like a Stone Edge, or even like a Dragon Claw would hurt it very badly. So he's going to go out into his Melodic, which is totally fine because I can get some nice damage off with the Earthquake. But as you're going to see, with the Marvel Scale activated, this Earthquake is not going to do a lot of damage, but he actually ends up going for the Haze, predicting me to want to go for Swords Dance, which is definitely interesting because I'm still behind a sub. And now because he made that play, I can go for a Swords Dance here. Even if he does predict that and go for the Haze, I'm still behind a sub, and I can knock out this Melodic with an Earthquake on the next turn anyway. So, as you can see here, he is forced to recover, and what's nice is I believe he does not live the combination of EQ plus Burn, possibly, but even then, like, I'm still a +2 Garchomp, or I'm going to be behind a sub, so either way, it's not a good situation for him. I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, and unfortunately for him, I am actually going to score a crit on this Melodic. I'm fairly certain that mattered, not 100%. I should have been able to see like how much Earthquake did before the boost and then after the boost, but pretty sure that mattered, so that definitely sucks for him. And what also sucks is he, I think, misgened his Starmie, because he accidentally made the Starmie modest, and I am a Jolly Garchomp with, I believe, 204 speed EVs, so this was unable to outspeed me, and I was just able to knock him out from there. Now, just to explain something really quickly, that Starmie play, even though it definitely sucks that he was, that he misgened, or that he just didn't, I believe he misgened it, which is unfortunate, but even if he had the proper speed EVs, he was timid, was able to outspeed me, that's still a really good situation for me, because, like I said, Starmie was the biggest threat to my team, and he was forced to sack it there in order to preserve a chance in having this game. He could have gone out to the Salk originally, but I guess he decided that Salk was a little bit more important, which makes sense because close combat plus Ice Punch hurts my team, especially because I don't have Mandibuzz. But as you can see, he's actually Mold Breaker and not Sturdy, so I will be able to knock him out with this Earthquake. He's not going to go down to Sturdy, even though he is Scarfed. As you guys can see, I go for the +2 Earthquake, and I will easily be able to knock out this Salk, which is great because now there's really not a lot that he has to deal with this. Like I said, the Starmie went down essentially for free. Salk is now gone, and now he's going to send out his Tyrantrum. And just to explain my play here, my best play is to stay in and just click Earthquake, because if he is Scarf, I didn't think he'd have dual Scarfers like Tyrantrum plus the Salk. It was possible, but I didn't think he would. Even if he was, he would have to lock himself into something like Outrage or Dragon Claw or Ice Fang, and any of those moves that could kill Garchomp is a free switch into a Zoom Roll, and I get a kill with Play Rough afterwards anyway. So I just stay in with my Garchomp, go for the Earthquake. He is not Scarf like I suspected, and this Tyrantrum is going to go clean down. So already things are going really, really well for me, and they don't show signs of slowing down, because as you're going to see, he's going to go out in a Gligar, and Gligar actually, I believe, does not get Ice Fang. Could be wrong about that. I know it doesn't get Fire Fang, but regardless, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, hardest move that I have to hit this thing. It does under half. He's going to get a crit with the Earthquake, which I guess makes up for the Heat Wave miss earlier on. Not that it matters that much. Here I'm going to set up another SD, get myself to +4, just because I know if he roosts, I'll be able to 2-hit KO him. If he does not roost and hits me with an Earthquake, I'll be able to knock him out with the Stone Edge on the following turn, so there's that. I'm going to go for the Stone Edge after he roosts, and like I said, I will be able to 2-hit KO him now. Do not have Dragon Claw on this thing. Stone Edge is my best move to hit this. He's going to go for another Earthquake. It does not knock me out, and I get my Salac Berry activated, which is kind of useless, unless he was like a Scarf Xatu, which I doubt he would be. So here I'm just going to go for another Stone Edge, connect this one as well, and the Gligar is going to go down. So are we going to get the first 6-0 of the season? If we hit a Stone Edge, we will get the 6-0. We do hit the Stone Edge, and there is no world in which Xatu is living a +4 Stone Edge from our Garchomp, and that is going to be a very quick 6-0 game versus Tom, which is definitely exciting. This is the first 6-0 we have gotten in the GBA. Tom's prep was not bad at all. The Flame Lord Melodic was really cool to see. The Scarf Salk definitely, while it's relatively standard, definitely helped him out. He was not Scarf Starmie like I predicted. He was, I'm not sure what his Tyrantrum was. I'm not entirely sure what his Xatu was either, but Heat Wave was definitely good. Hit my Bronzong. Xatu was actually kind of an issue, but I was able to pressure that and take care of it with my Garchomp, as well as everything else, because Garchomp absolutely slaughtered everything on his team. But yeah, definitely a fun game. The hacks definitely mattered a little bit. I'm not sure on how much it mattered, because regardless of whether or not I got that crit, I was still in a very good position. He either had to knock out my Garchomp, or had to knock out my sub with Scald from Melodic, in which case I'm still a +2 Garchomp and I'm knocking out his Melodic, or he had to continuously haze to get rid of my boosts, which still leaves me behind a sub, which is still really good for me because I get a free attack on anything. If he goes Gligar, I can get a free SD off of that thing, so he was definitely put into a tough situation early, and I was able to capitalize on it, especially after the hacks, or the one crit, and then the misgen happened. So definitely very fortunate for me. Like I said, I think I had the game regardless because I put myself in a very good position early, but anything could have happened after that. So that is it. That is the game. To talk about our current playoff standings, I'm about to spoil the matches of John, Lars, and Dan, so if you guys don't want to hear that, then feel free to click out of the video now. I'm not going to be talking about anything else important, so like I said, spoiler warning, spoiler happening in 3, 2, 1, okay. Actually, I mean, the game's been up a day before this is being uploaded, because unfortunately we had to play a little bit late, and I apologize, but anyway, Lars lost, John lost, Dan won. So the two people that were the closest, immediately closest to me, have lost. So John and Lars both lost. So now the only way we don't get playoffs is if Dan wins and then I lose, which is definitely possible, because Dan, people thought Dan was out of it last season before the playoffs, and then he was able to come back by the skin of his teeth. I believe he made it over Geo by 1 differential point or something like that. and then he ended up winning every single game in the playoffs, and then ended up beating George in the finals. So I could definitely see a victory coming from Dan, even though he plays Nick, and Nick is on an incredible hot streak. And we have to play George, who, even though has not played his best recently, or he's not, how do I put this? And we have to play George up next, and even though George is struggling a little bit, he is still an absolutely incredible battler, and we did not do very well against him last time. Even though his team is very different, it's still a very solid team, and it's still a very solid coach handling that team. So I cannot bank off of Dan losing. I have to make sure that I will be able to beat George so that I can guarantee my playoff spot no matter what. If Dan does end up losing, then that'll be a weight off my shoulders, but regardless, I'm looking to win this game to eliminate any possible pressure of me not making the playoffs, because it is definitely possible. Dan is a very good player, George is a very good player, it could definitely happen. So thank you guys very much for watching. Next week we have the final week of the GBA Season 6 regular season, so I hope you're excited for that, and I will see you then. So until then, have a nice day.